Listen to your favorite songs, albums, and artists non-stop, even when you're offline. With Spotify Premium, you can download and take your music on the go and listen to music without hearing ads. Try it for free for 2 months. Tap the banner to learn more.
There's more to Spotify than meets the ear. That's because video is taking center stage on Spotify, with over 300,000 video shows and 300 million users already watching their favorite podcast. With seamless switching between watching and listening, you can tune in anytime, anywhere. Got a show of your own? Upload your video to Spotify, turn views into fans, and monetize your passion.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and you are currently dreaming. That wasn't the best accent, to be fair. I can do better. My voice is just kind of a bit shit today. Welcome back to yet another Inktober. We are doing number 6, Pierce. Now, this is an interesting one, as usual. Reoccurring theme with this year's October. Basically got a random challenge for every day, and then we come up with the idea for the one we're doing the next day or the day before, which we've already come up with an idea for, but I won't spoil it, obviously, until tomorrow. Today's one, Pierce, is a rather interesting one, different from the others I've done so far. I've essentially come up with a bit of lore and story and a tiny bit of narrative that goes along with this. And so I guess I will start to explain as we begin drawing. See, there was once a human so devious, so cunning and silver-tongued, outwitting even the devil itself. Some may be thinking, some may be thinking of Jack, led to become the first Jack-o'-lantern, but this is something worse, something more sinister. They committed a crime so heinous it can't be described. And the only way that the townsfolk saw fit for this heinous criminal to be punished, so that they could do no more harm, was to seal them away in the form of something harmless, something minuscule. Almost like an insect. Now, I did look into some particularly weird insects for this, and this is kind of a combination of a few. There's this sort of beetle spider that has these really weird horns on its back, and it almost looks like the head of a sort of dark fantasy creature, but it's essentially just its back piece. And that's essentially what this sort of heinous sort of criminal has been turned into for a punishment. Now, we'll get to the symbols on the page a bit later, because they do play into the story and the lore a bit. And where does Piers come into this? Well, you'll see in a minute. Definitely more one of the fun ones I've done. If you're looking for some perspective, this insect is about the size of the tip of your finger. That's how small this thing really is. And this is actually like a real thing as well. I'll find a name for it in a minute, but I've just got an image saved in my mind. Just kind of sketch this thing out. I think the idea behind this was that they get trapped in something so like horrific and disgusting that no one ever wants to kind of go near it, and it does teach them a bit of a lesson in a way, but it gets even darker like beyond this point, and you'll see in a minute why. See, the problem is, as this sort of cretin, this beast, this creature, the soul of this entity could do near to nothing. And so to nullify these effects, it's sort of a way of restoring itself. A way to regain its conscious form. And again, we'll get to the Pierce bit in a minute, because it will make sense. Draw on a little bug first. The whole idea with this prompt as well is insect dragons. So that plays into the story a bit too, as you will soon see.
Ready for some new summer tracks? Whether you go
Again,
where
sorry
the
about
wind takes
Spotify, I
you
don't have
or worship
premium.
the carefully planned itinerary, discover your ultimate summer playlist and travel personality with Jet2. Simply answer a few questions and you'll get great music and even better holiday suggestions. However you holiday, there's a Jet2 for you. Click or tap the banner to discover yours today. Prime Video brings the best in entertainment. There are
two sides to every story in the psycho thriller The Girlfriend, included with Prime.
She's perfect.
I don't trust her. Tom Cruise embarks on his most important assignment in Mission Impossible: The
I
Final
don't actually
Reckoning.
watched that yet.
Available to rental by.
I need you to trust me one last time.
Yeah, I watched all the
Whatever you're
Conjuring
into,
films the
it's
other night as
right
well.
here.
Pretty wicked.
Prime Video. Click or tap the banner to find
Some of the
out
horror
more.
content, and like especially the effects back then, is just so much better than some of the shit we've got today. But then again, some of the stuff today is much better than the stuff we had back then. CG's gotten better, and the potential for it's gotten better, but the other thing is that people are having less time to work on the CG, which is why stuff often looks bad in movies. It's not because the technology is bad. It's actually just people rushed out of time by the company that kind of runs the animation, and it's that constitutes to bad CG. Getting back more to the point, how exactly does this relate to piercings? See, for every heinous crime and deed that this meticulous hellion committed, rather than a sign of punishment, they claimed victory over each action by giving themselves a piercing. The problem was, when they sealed the soul of this person inside this creature, it only works on organic stuff, and so the piercings actually stuck out, they stayed on the creature. And this comes up later as well, there's a very important thing. You'll see why. I think intros are very interesting, especially the potential they have for like making creatures. And I'll often use them for sources for my beasts and stuff like that. I would really like to get a macro lens at some point, so I can take like close-up shots and get like really cool facial stuffs, but expensive. I'm pretty sure they have some at the Unikit store, but I need a camera that fits it, and the camera I've got right now is currently broken, which is a bit annoying, as you can probably imagine. So yeah, but yeah, at some point I can get the camera working again, and it's also a time where I have access to the macro lens. We could do some really interesting stuff. I do like writing little notes on here. I feel like it adds more to like a more kind of portfolio / journal of creatures. It reminds me of the crab from Love and Monsters. Now, this is where it gets interesting. See, living with itself like this, it can steal the whole soul of this tainted human, this offset mind. It tried to change itself back into human form via ritual. Yet, it didn't go quite right. See, for some reason, the piercings that they'd made for every kill and every heinous crime they'd committed interrupted said ritual and somewhat altered their form. They became draconic. Piercings still intact, yet gripping tighter at the skin and scales and merge of flesh. Their consciousness withering away, becoming more beastly with every day passing. I mean, this is really an excuse for me just to draw a dragon, but also still wicked. And then again, I love making lore for stuff too. I could develop this into like a full character, but I want the eye to kind of look a bit more human on this one. Obviously for the purposes of what I just said and the kind of lore behind it. I'm gonna make this sort of like mouth really detached, because not only did they try to bring human attributes back, but because their soul was trapped inside this insect, it brought parts of the insect attached to the draconic form, with the piercings gripped tightly at the skin as well.
Every neighbor got their flavor. Did somebody say just me? Emergency at 23. Ether's extended family. Cause you get a rewind. Nappies, coffee, rolls to go. Nate States in a hot mess. No chili, it's an SOS. Major cooked up, ooh, we saw ya. Let me call the reinforcements for ya.
Whoever you are, whatever your flavour.
Every neighbor got their flavor. Did somebody say just me?
The all-new iPhone 17 Pro is designed with the ultimate pro camera system.
I can see this! Get it!
This 8X zoom, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Great shot. People are gonna think we're in the front row.
I love it.
Plus, tag them.
So you can take amazing photos and share them on EE. Because the most powerful iPhone yet deserves the best network. Search EE iPhone.
Verify best network at ee.co.uk/claims.
One of the most notable features being their nose ring. But this draconic form was tainted, as said, not only with bug, but the ritual seems to have distorted the facial structure, making it almost offsetting and out of place. This new form was even more grotesque than all the others as well. I may have forgot to mention. Grasping onto life, but living in eternal hell, slowly becoming more of a creature every day. I guess a lot of what I'm doing here with these as well is like creating my own urban legends, which is pretty wicked. Because I'm going to add like real world locations to these guys too. Like based on the animals or sort of things I'm using. So this bug, I'm pretty sure it's native to Indonesia and Australia, so could cover some interesting ground there. Explore some lore in those regions too. It is, but I've kind of got like a natural affinity for dragons now. I just know how to draw them. Like, I'll just I always start with the eyes. That's the thing. Everything that I'm drawing creature based, I always start with the eyes. Or like a defining feature, such as the horns on this thing, which is actually its tail. But yeah, dragons, I always start with the eyes, but I just know how to make it. Like, I know like what direction to do the eyes and the nose and just build from there. Like, I know how to physically just... And then I jump straight in and get really stuck into it. Now, the piercings we're actually going to do in different colours, so they show up more, like, vibrantly. Switch the orange to contrast blue.
more to Spotify than meets the ear. That's because video is taking center stage on Spotify, with over 300,000 video shows and 300 million users already watching their favorite podcast. With seamless switching between watching and listening, you can tune in anytime, anywhere. Got a show of your own? Upload your video to Spotify, turn views into fans, and monetize your passion.
Can't get enough of your song of the moment? Download and indulge in the tracks you love over and over again with Spotify Premium. Tune in to discover an ad-free music listening experience where you can play your favorites in any order. Tap the banner to learn more.
And in the case of this one, I think we're pretty much done. Just again, to recap the kind of lore on this one. A human, a cretin so vile, so dangerous, worse than Stingy Jack. Committing deeds beyond forgiveness. Worse, much worse than a pain in the back. Their soul was taken and placed within a bug of horror and disgust, not living with themselves for the screams they heard. They tried a ritual of dust, reforming and reshaping, but something went wrong. A horrific creature was born, wandering the lands, beastly, becoming more beastly by day, losing sight of their human hands. A draconic form with piercings shining through all of their forms they did. For every deed they committed, a piercing was implanted. Yet still they roam the lands and realms, waiting, pondering why, as they lose their mind, becoming more beastly, they are forgotten and left behind. Literally made that up on the spot. I'm probably not going to remember that, but I'll probably watch it back. And I like what I've done so far is actually written sort of little lore poems for all of these when it comes to actually putting descriptions in for like the social media stuff. But yeah, that's pretty good. And again, I like that I've actually like written little drawings and stuff. And actually, no, final step that we need to do, that I always do for all of my drawings, is add little energy spikes. It's our signature sort of little thing. So we're just going to do that real quick for all of our little things that we've done here. And these are essentially just to amplify the fact that there's magic involved, or to make something look a bit more stand-outy and epic. On digital, I'll do this with like lines and highlight them with airbrush to give them like glow. Yeah, it's just something I do, and it's something like part of my style that I picked up over the last year or so, but yeah. Cool. So that's that. All my socials are linked over here. Have a wonderful morning, evening, day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Nice short stream as well, actually, too. I've got uni in the morning, so good on that. Games design, art and all of that, so wish me luck, because we've redesigned the game. I don't know how it's going to go, and yeah, we're doing 3D and making hammers and stuff. which I think I've showed you on the stream before. And like I said, my social links here, and some of my socials are linked over here, so Instagram, Twitter, all of that. And it's basically where all the previous of these are gone up with their time lapses and finalized images, because I do a bit of editing when it comes to digital stuff with these as well. And eventually, at the end of October, what we're going to do is something special to the front of this book and actually add a creature in here too, which is going to be very interesting. And on top of that, we're going to be coming up with lore for all of these, as well as digitally colouring all of them, and then probably printing them out and making like a little book within here that you can basically, what I'll do is take the printed out versions, whack them in the book here next to these versions here, and then we'll have like the lore on the back of the page that's actually coloured. So you have the original, the colour version, and the lore on the back of it. But yeah, wicked. So I'll see you all soon. Have a good one. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, goodbye. Have a nice Inktober.